The question here is a powerful question: how to handle office politics. And I'm going to talk in terms of there are lots of tools, techniques, and all those things, encompassing thing that we learn in this program, and how you can implement each and everything to solve this biggest problem of that we face in our office. So let's begin with the first thing is about a mindset. As we always talk about, what is the mindset we should set up. And from mindset point of view, what I will say is first thing we have to change is change our language. When think about it, anytime you feel, anytime you utter this word, there is office politics going on in my office, and I hate it. And people, what words come to your mind? It's always, I hate office politics. It gives me stress. This is not me. It's totally unethical. People are me, and then the people who do office politics, there is no place for office politics in here. This is a nice place. There shouldn't be office politics. So all the negative connotation comes up as soon as you use the word politics. But if you notice that it is everywhere. It is the ingrained part of it. And overall, even if you look into society, it's driven by politics. And that's how people get elected. That's how people get in power. So that is something that we had to start changing the word by changing our language. And here's my invitation for you to stop saying that it's the office politics and start using a word for yourself as saying that it's a power game. It's not a politics. It's a power game which everybody here is playing to gain more and more power. And that is the whole game of getting into ahead in the career. What is promotion? Promotion is nothing but you have more power. Power in terms of decision making, power in terms of resource allocation, power in terms of information, power in terms of knowledge, what you have. And basically, it's a control. And that's what is all about. And that's what everybody's fighting for to gain more power. So it's a game. So if you put it in that perspective, it becomes super easy to think. And when you call it a game, then it doesn't have that negative connotation. Oh, there shouldn't be any of its politics. It's a power game that happens everywhere. And it every good person plays this game, because without power, you cannot do it. Now think about it. The Mahatma Gandhi or like all those people, they had informal power. They had power over people's mind. They have power over, power of organizing. People followed them. Their one word mattered. So that was the power they gained with a good reason. So everybody is in this game of acquiring more and power. The means are different. So once you start seeing in that way, your mindset will start shifting. Second piece of it is building that unshakable confidence. What happens in this power game, if somebody else gets the more power and you are getting less power, somebody grabs the power, that time you start losing that confidence. Hey, I'm in the game and somebody stole that ball from me. Suppose you're playing soccer, right? And somebody steals your ball, and you're going to lose confidence. Oh, I'm dribbling very nicely. That guy came and took my ball. Oh, that's a game. That's a part of the game that he's supposed to take that ball from you. At that time, if you lose the confidence, then you are not going to run again, and you're not trying to get that ball back to you. So you need to gain that super confident. I call it unshakable confidence, and that's why we have this whole now we that's why we start our program with, right? I'm awesome because, so even if my ball is stolen, then I'm so strong, my legs are so strong, I can run way faster. I have got that bag many times. I have scored so many goals before. So reminding yourself. So if you have that, if you think about it, right, when people are playing soccer, if somebody steals ball from a player, he doesn't lose the confidence. He just keeps running and tries to get the ball again. So that we can start working on having that super confidence using our leader inside you concept and the self-doubter, separating those voice. And other thing is building, and we can bring this confidence from this fact that you are in this program, which means you are learning really, really powerful tools and techniques. Those psychological ninja skills that other people don't have it. You know certain ways to dribble, certain ways to deceive people instead of, you know certain techniques. You are building your muscles of your brain by means of what do you call it, mindfulness, so you can run faster, and you have the strategy, you know exactly what works, or you know what exactly don't work. These opponents don't know all these techniques, they don't know all these tools. So build that confidence that I know a lot of things and I know how to implement those things. So that's another source of confidence you can bring in. So when you see somebody else in front of you trying to grab power, trying to do all the moves, have that confidence in you that I have these new tools and techniques that I can apply, and we're going to talk about it. So you can build that confidence on top of it. Other piece of mindset point of view, I'll say constant courage. You know, courage gets chipped away when people steal things from you, or they say some mean things to you, or belittle you, or when when they insult you in front of other people. Mean people do all sort of stuff, right? And that time, next time, then your confidence goes down, and then because of that, your courage goes down. Next time, you will find yourself not confronting that person. Oh, this person always, when it's in a room, I like to feel like running away from this person. I don't like to be, I don't even like to talk with this person. And that way, that person will get away with all the wrong things. Or you will say, oh, if that person is a meeting, I'm not going to go to this meeting. So that person will have upper hand to say what that person want to say, and you will lose out. So in that case, we have to have that constant courage, and courage comes from compassion. And compassion is this: compassion means that changing the focus from the attitude of service. Here, it's a different approach. Once you start focusing on the value you bring, once you start focusing on how you are helpful in the situation, then that courage comes up. For example, if it is in a meeting and you say, oh, if this person is there, I'm not going to go there. Now, this is focus on you, because if I'm going there, I'm going to feel bad, and your person is going to be mean to me again. He's going to insult. It's all about me, me, me. Change the focus. By going into this meeting, I'm going to be of service to my boss. I'm going to be even service to this person. I'm going to do all sort of psychological ninja skill, positive influence techniques on this person, appreciating this person, stroking this person ego, and helping this person to align for the greater good of the company, greater good of me, greater good of him. And I'm going to help him to win. I'm going to help him to win myself and for my boss also. But if it is a promotion, I'm going to win. But at the same time, I'm going to see that how this person can be happy for himself. So that is with the service approach or compassion. Next come the question of, then you'll say, oh, Ravi, don't, I'm not a yogi in the Himalayas that you tell me to go and not feel bad if somebody insults me. You're gonna feel bad. The people are gonna make you feel bad, and that's okay. And that is your part of the you being a human. If you're a human, you're gonna feel this experience, you're gonna feel this emotion, and that is super super nice thing. That's where we humans are such a powerful species in the world. Other There is a research and everything, but there is no concrete evidence that any other species feel emotions. So we are the one who feel emotion. So rejoice that, oh wow, I'm a human, I'm going to feel this emotion. And for that, the techniques that we teach is having coffee with emotion. So there is a special training. You can go to bonus section and you go there, how to manage negative emotions. And I talk explicitly about how do you manage negative emotion. So you have that tool also. When you go to this person, and this person really says something bad to you, start feeling upset or start experiencing anger, you know how to work with those negative emotion, so that you can the emotion lose power over them. Now let's talk about the specific tools. First tool is about the desk. This, as we all know, is super powerful tools, and you have to use it two ways for this politics, office politics, power game, we call it. And the power game, first thing is about understanding yourself. You know, you Here is the thing: when people are doing this power game, you need to understand, first of all, what are your strengths. In the same, are you a good goalie, or are you a good in the defense? What are your strengths? Are you your strengths in defense? Your strength is in offense. Your strengths in the middle. You kick faster, or you can maneuver faster. What you are good at, And that way, you can position yourself in a situation where you will be the most effective and able to grab power. So that is understanding yourself. That's where the disc comes in picture. And second big thing about is understanding other person. Right? If this person is behaving the way that person is behaving, then this gives you like very clear picture for us to understand other person and get into other person's head. So that's the another tool that we have. And of course, you can go in detail of this. Next topic is what about we keep talking about intention and impact. There is always this person who the way that person is behaving, there is always some kind of positive intention behind it, right? But the impact happens on you is different. So focusing on this impact intention rather than impact makes a difference. And there is separate training on that. You can look into it. Once you start using applying this intention and impact principle, you will start noticing a lot of positive influence start coming from you and from that other person. And big topic about this we talked about earlier also. If you go a little down, there is a video about that chameleon approach. You want to change your behavior, adapt yourself, or bring up your eagle, or bring up your dove, or bring up your parrot based on the person in front of you, the person who's playing the game. Now, as I give an example in about the cricket, depending on that batsman, if the left-hander, right-hander, he's a hitter or he's a slow player, based on that, you change your style of your bowling, and that's how you can get that person in great in gaming palace out. But in that case, in the office thing, you can have the positive influence. So having that chameleon approach. Then other tool, the very very powerful tool is just like me. Now, once you start thinking about this as a game, your mind starts thinking differently. Just like me. This person is playing just a power game. He's not trying to be mean. He's not trying to be, bad person. This person is in an office. Why? Just like me, he wants to make a living for himself, first of all. Just like me, he wants to feed his family. Just like me, he wants to go on vacation. Just like me, he wants to save for retirement. The purpose is same why that person is in the office. And even the career aspiration, this person wants to grow in a career. Even he's belittling, even if it is pushing people under the bus, why this person is doing it? For he thinks, he may be correct or wrong, but this by behaving this way, this person thinks it will be good for him. He will progress in a career. He will get promotion. Just like me, I want to get a promotion too, but maybe his thought process is different than I'm at. So using that, just like me, opens up the thought process and it trains our brain to from empathy point of view. You can start seeing that person's thought process. You can start understanding why this person is saying the way that person is saying. And just think about this thing, right? If you this particular person in your life, if you are getting into that zone, I have no idea why this person behaves the way this person behaves. If you are reaching to that point, then you are hitting a dead wall, right? You just cannot do anything. If you just cannot understand that person's point of view, that is impossible for you to do anything about it. And the remedy is on that is to build your skill of empathy, and which is just like me is an amazing tool. And again, in the training, if you go, I explain in a lot more detail. There's quite a few 2 3 videos on you about how to read other people's mind and how to create a positive influence. And this all thing is good and everything, but what happens is, you will say, okay, Ravi, this is good, I will do all sort of stuff, but when that person comes in front of me, I lose it. That person has such a amazing quality to trigger my emotions. Every Even if I see that person's face, the negative emotion triggers in me and I just shut down. I just go in shell or run out, or I just start shouting. It's impossible for me to control my emotion. And this is where this powerful technique, so tool of SBNRR comes in. It's in week 2 or week 1 mindset part of it. It's a 5-step process, and it's extremely powerful process. So many of leaders who have used it has vouched it again and again and again. And some people say, Ravi, this just one SBNR technique, it's worth all the money I give you, or even more than that. It's that freaky powerful. What it gives you is gives you the power over responding, not reacting. Most of the fight or most of the this nastiness happens in the office is because of reaction to each other. So if you can respond to that other person rather than reacting, it's a huge win. It's a huge power over that person. This person is yelling, 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 and you are like taking a deep breath, taking that pause, reflecting on it, and asking questions or responding to this person that this person just diffuses totally. Just imagine that situation. And people do that. And some, it's not necessarily you have to be calm and quiet. Sometimes yelling helps. Sometimes bringing that your ego also helps many times. But that has to be your response, not the reaction. And that is the like after gathering all the information, after having empathy and all sort of stuff. And that's what that SBNRR process does. I mean, I don't want to spend so much time, but I will definitely spend time on telling that it is powerful techniques to deal with difficult people and navigating this power game. Then let's talk about some of the techniques. First is about listening with full attention to that person. Many times you will see that since these people are many times very extroverted, they talk a lot, and they talk sometimes that they really don't mean, or sometimes they use just talk because they are engulfed in the emotion. So in this case, this is where your listening skills comes in. Now we have to listen where this whatever words or language that coming from, is it coming from the logic or is it coming from emotion? And it's your duty to listen to it. And because you are the stronger leader, because here you want to create that positive influence. You want to control other people's minds. So that's why you have to do this thing, and that's why we practice in this our executive presence call of listening. So listening to their words, listening to what they are saying, or listening to what they are not saying, listening to their emotion, and what are the emotional impact happening of their language, what language they use and why they use, and reflecting back on all these things all together, why it is happening. So that is the powerful skill, and that will can be a game changer. Many times what happens is when we get into that fight mode, we stop listening. Nothing comes to our mind because we start guarding ourselves. Oh, if I start talking with this person, if I listen, I'm gonna feel bad, and we zone out of all this. Blah 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 blah. We say that, right? I don't care what you're saying. It's the same rant, and again the same thing is gonna happen. We stop listening to that person. So antidote on that is to start listening back again. Another technique is that I love it, and we talk all the time, starting from the very first call. It's simple is like if you make any person feel good about themselves, magic starts happening. Just remember the times when somebody complimented you and appreciated you, and then how you felt. It becomes very hard for you to fight with that person or do something bad for this person if somebody is making feel good about yourself, not about the situation, not about you. You make that person feel that, oh my God, I'm such a good person. I'm succeeding. I have this quality. I have that quality. And if you can make that person that you are trying to create a positive influence, make that person feel good about themselves. And how you do that? Using the law of reciprocity. It's a simple technique, right? If you appreciate someone, by human nature you have to repay that debt. That's what happens all the time. Even the meanest people will do that to you. If you say something good to them, they by human nature you have to reciprocate in certain way. Maybe it means if you say 10 good things, they will say one, yeah, one good thing about you, but eventually they will improve on it because it's a psychological effect. And then it doesn't hurt, but it has to be genuine. It has to be something good. And here is the beauty of it. If you find this, some of the people are really difficult people, if you give some appreciation to them, and then I'm saying genuine, it's not like talking something that that person won't believe. Otherwise, that person will say, somebody is angry all the time and you go and say, oh, Hari, you are such a nice person, gentle, you never get mad at people. that guy's like nonsense, right? So it has to be something genuine, and sometimes has to be something that that person will agree to it. So if you agree to that thing, that person will start feeling good about himself, and that by the law of reciprocity, he has to start becoming a nicer and on your side. So that's the skill of power of genuine skill. Then comes the question of I there is one technique I always talk about, reversing the but. And I say this is another powerful way of language changing. You know, it's simple thing, right? I'll give you one example. When you are describing, hey, one person can describe in this way, that our project was our projects is our project was completed, and then now it has like 99.99% uptime, but it was delayed by 6 months because we had to increase it from 99 to 99.99%. So this is one way of saying, right? For one, even is saying that uptime is high, but the project was delayed. Now reverse that but, and you will see how magic happened. The project was delayed, but now the uptime is 99.99%. So whatever you say before but, I call it whatever I say before but is bullshit. So when you are talking with these people who are difficult to handle, change that but, put a positive things after the but, and see how magic happens, how these people start responding to you positively. Another one interesting thing that works very good is that, whatever you want to make them do, well, and if you want to say, if you want them to support you in some certain thing, if you want them to buy your idea, one technique is to make them feel that it's their own idea. And for that, you have to be a little more creative. Sometimes you have to be creative, or sometimes you don't have to. Sometimes if you listen really carefully, you will notice that they have been wanting the same thing that you want, just because to oppose you, they are going opposite of you. And then if that is the case, then it becomes a lot easier. Hey, this is what exactly thing you want. You and I are same page. Your expectations is the same as my expectation. Your goal is same as mine. You want the same thing, I want the same thing. Of course, both of you want promotion, but other than that, the goal of the project, for example, goal of the organization, all sort of the similar, finding those similarity, and make them feel that this is your idea too. You want the same thing. So that will help people to align on your side. Next question, and other golden words that always works, is it's not your fault. When you're talking with the person, help them justify their failures, and help them to throw rocks at their enemies, and you will see people will do anything for you. So write this down. Help people to justify their failure, and help them to throw rocks at their enemy. And you will see some of the politicians do very well. They say that, oh, you are poor, and oh, you are this. It's not your fault. It's because of the previous, uh, because of this current government's policies, right? So it becomes a common enemy, that you are poor. It's not because you don't hard work, or it's not because you do drugs, or because it's not because you didn't go to college. It's not because of you are lazy. It's because of the government policies. So it justifies to those people, and then people will say, oh, okay, it's not my fault, it's somebody else's fault. Who's somebody else? The common enemy is the government, current government. And then people will start aligning with you, and you will see some of the politicians do it so wonderfully well. So that's another techniques to make people do what you want them to do. And another profound thing, and then and any of these three things that we talk about, right? Any of the techniques and tool, if you start feeling that, oh, you know I know, Ravi, I can now see that some people do it in my organization, but they are the mean things. I don't like them. They are immoral or unethical, and all sort of this is manipulation of other people, all sort of stuff. Think of it like this: it's a salt. If you just take it as a salt, and you try to eat it, you're not going to like it, and you shouldn't do it, right? But it pretty much in every dish we need some salt. So, and some of these people who you don't approve of, some of the people you see, they are doing some kind of a nasty politics and doing some weird thing and not moral or not ethical thing. Learn from them, because they got something. Or we might say, oh, this person always yells at people and always angry and always fault finding. If you are getting agitated by that, there is a possibility that you need to acquire those things in small quantities, at least like a salt. Think of it like a salt, and give up, observe all these things. Observe what other people who you don't approve of, you think are opposite, you think I will never do what these people do. See what is the goodness in it, what is something that you can take it, so that you can use it for your own good. Now just think about it, right? Uh, Throughout our history, every religion has taken advantage of brainwashing people, right? And then most of the time, fortunately, 99.9%, it's in a good way. But there are, throughout the history, there are all over the earth, there are instances where so much blood is being shed for the wrong reasons. And so human mind is changeable and can be influenced in a big time, even for the worst thing, wars and all sort of stuff. So we also have that power to create that positive influence. And just think about it, if it can be done in negative ways. So of course we can do it for positive ways, sure. And these are all the techniques being done by so many powerful people. So even if you don't approve on, for example, worst case scenario is a Hitler. you know how he manipulated people. He literally manipulated people. I won't call it he created a positive influence. He just literally manipulated people. So how he did it, and these are really 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 brilliant and smartest people in the world, but he could do it for so many years. So you can observe it and see what's the salt in it, and you can take it so that your dish can become really really beautiful. So observing people, and then on the top of it, in of course in the office, these people are not Hitler. Actually, they are going back to the original goodness thought. These people are just like you and me, trying to advance their career, trying to do something good for them, trying to good their way may not be something that you resonate with you, but they are doing the same thing that you are trying to do. They are trying to complete the project, they are trying to make sure the production support doesn't come up, or there are no bugs or all sort of thing. You are going to do the exact same thing. So going back to that thought process and wishing them happiness, I wish you to be happy. That brings the positivity, and then it will help you to, overcome all these negative emotions. And you will, from that mindset, from that power, whatever comes out to your mouth will be so freaky powerful that that other person won't be able to take your ball and create that power. And that's how, in my mind, you can use all these tools and techniques. And of course, this is the huge topic, but in this program, we have given you all sort of tools, all sort of techniques. Some techniques will work at some time, some techniques will work at some other times, and also, some techniques may not work at some time. And not giving up on that. If you use one of the technique and no, Ravi, I tried with this person, I tried appreciating, and this person never reciprocates with me. Have patience. you know that person may be testing you. Oh, this person said one time, I don't know what's happened with him today. Maybe he had a nice coffee in the morning, that's why he was happy. So you have to be consistent on it, and you have to have that tenacity and persistence, so that you can create that positive influence. And that's how our brain works, right? Brain is not like a computer that you enter some command and it changes. You have to keep reinforcing again and again and again and again on your mind and other people's mind. So with that compassion, with that courage, and with this persistence, and with the help of this leader inside you, that you can always bring it up. Take a deep breath and see the goodness in yourself, and be self compassionate to you. Give yourself that kudos every time you win, and you will see you can maneuver this office power game and you can win it. I hope this was helpful for you. If you have any comments, you can post in a chat below of this video, and I'll respond, or you can also bring it up in your one-on-one sessions, or of course you can bring it up in a group calls, and we can have deep dive on any of these topics. And for each of the topic I said, there are there. So let's convert this. It's not office politics. It's a power game which you can play using all the tools and techniques that we have, and you can win it.